There is a word in Portuguese that has no direct translation in English. The Portuguese call it saudade, a deep, aching longing for something beautiful that may already be gone. And if you've ever been to Lisbon, you understand it immediately, because Lisbon is the kind of city that stays with you long after you leave, the kind that makes you miss it while you're still standing in it.
It sits on 7 hills where the Tagus River meets the Atlantic. Older than Rome, older than Paris, a city that once sent ships to the ends of the earth and somehow still feels like a secret.
Today we're going deep into Lisbon. The Fado bars, the custard tarts, the viewpoints where the whole city spreads out below you like a painting.
By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Lisbon is one of the most extraordinary cities in Europe, and why once you go, you'll spend the rest of your life trying to get back. Lisbon is Portugal's capital, 545,000 people in the city, nearly 3 million in the greater metro.
What strikes you first is the light. Lisbon has over 300 days of sunshine a year, more than any other European capital, and the quality of that light is unlike anything in Paris or Berlin. Warmer, more golden, almost North African.
Then there's the azulejos, hand-painted ceramic tiles covering everything here. Church facades, subway stations, and private homes. Blue and white, geometric and pictorial, hundreds of years old and brand new. Every tiled wall tells a different story. Lisbon is basically a picture book you walk through.
And here's the thing, nobody tells you enough. Lisbon is exceptional value. A glass of excellent Portuguese wine costs what a soft drink costs in Paris.
A great restaurant meal costs what a mediocre one costs in London. Boutique hotels and historic buildings at a fraction of what you'd pay anywhere else in Western Europe. Lisbon rewards you for showing up.
Start where Lisbon started, in Alfama. The city's oldest district, a labyrinth of narrow lanes built by the Moors in the 8th century, the only part of Lisbon that survived the catastrophic 1755 earthquake. Get lost here deliberately. The dead ends are where you find the best views.
Those views, the Lisboetas call the Viewpoints Miradouros, and the city has dozens of them. The Miradouro de Graça is the locals' favorite. The Santa Luzia Terrace hangs above the river with a tiled mural of old Lisbon behind you. At sunset, any of them will stop you cold. Then there's Tram 28, the iconic yellow tram threading through Alfama and Estrela, rattling and groaning up hills so steep it feels like the city is trying to shake it off.
It's crowded, it's slow, it is absolute magic. Ride it at least once, preferably in the morning, keep a hand on your phone in the crowd, and enjoy every lurching, clacking minute. Head west to Belém for Portugal's Age of Discovery. The Jerónimos Monastery is one of the great buildings in Europe. Every surface covered in carved ropes, armillary spheres, and sea creatures in the distinctly Portuguese Manuelian style. The cloister alone is worth the trip to Lisbon, and at the river's edge, the Belém Tower stands where it has stood since 1519, the last thing departing navigators saw before the open Atlantic took them.
For a completely different Lisbon, head to LX Factory, a converted industrial complex under the massive 25D Abril suspension bridge. Part creative market, part restaurant zone, part bookshop, and cocktail bar. It's where Lisbon's creative class spends its Sundays, and spending yours there with them is one of the best decisions you'll make. Lisbon's hotel scene has transformed former palaces and 18th century townhouses were converted into some of Europe's most atmospheric places to sleep.
The Bairro Alto Hotel sits above the Camas Square, its rooftop terrace serving cocktails with sweeping Tagus views.
Memo Alfama is built directly into the Alfama neighborhood. Terrace pool, panoramic rooftop views over terracotta, one of the most photographed vantage points in the city. For grandeur, Pestana Palace inhabits a restored 19th century building, dripping with frescoes and chandeliers.
And the Lumiares offers apartment-style suites in a converted Bairro Alto Palace. Full kitchens, curated Portuguese art, ideal for longer stays. The Pastel de Nata, a small, deeply satisfying tart of flaky pastry and silky, slightly burnt custard, served warm, dusted with cinnamon and powdered sugar.
The original comes from Pastéis de Belém, a bakery producing its secret recipe tarts since 1837. The queue snakes down the street, it always moves. Order 2 and you'll want 4. Time Out Market in Caes do Sodre gathers the city's finest chefs under one roof, eaten communally at long shared tables. Loud, vibrant, essential. For the finest table in the city, Belcanto, Jose Avila's 2 Michelin star flagship in Chiado, delivers a theatrical tasting menu with precision and wit, the most coveted reservation in Lisbon. Book weeks ahead. And for the opposite experience, Cervejaria Ramiro, legendary no-frills seafood since 1956. Tiger prawns, scarlet crab, percebes.
Locals queue for it regardless of season, and drink Portuguese wine. Vinho Verde whites, Douro and Alentejo reds. World class and priced like a gift.
A bottle here costs what a glass would cost in most places. It would be rude not to. Humberto Delgado Airport is 7 kilometers from the city center, one of Europe's most convenient major airports. TAP Air Portugal connects Lisbon to virtually every European capital, plus routes to North America and beyond.
The Metro's Red Line gets you to the city in 20 minutes for under €2. Get a Viva Viagem card. It works across metro, buses, trams, and the historic funiculars.
The Lisboa card, 24, 48, or 72 hours, adds free entry to 30-plus museums, including Jerónimos and Belém Tower.
A few things before you go. Wear comfortable shoes with grip. The cobblestones are beautiful and treacherous when wet.
The hills in Alfama are genuinely steep. Use the funiculars to save your knees for the actual exploring. Stay aware of your phone on Tram 28 and at crowded viewpoints. Front pockets, zip bags, no issues. And Fado. Go to at least one show. When a performer begins, the room goes completely silent. No talking, no phones.
You probably won't understand a word being sung, and somehow you'll understand everything.
Lisbon does not demand your attention. It earns it. One tiled facade at a time, one Fado refrain drifting from a half-open window, one custard tart still warm from the oven.
It is a city that has been through everything. Earthquake, empire, revolution, reinvention, and come out the other side with something rare. A genuine, unperformed beauty that you feel the moment you arrive and carry with you long after you leave. The Portuguese have a word for this feeling.
Saudade. After Lisbon, you'll finally understand what it means. When you're ready to experience Lisbon for yourself, flights, hotels, travel insurance, everything you need, head to PalapaVibez.com. The link is in the description. Don't forget to like and follow for more travel guides just like this one.